Hey dear fashion bosses, how are you doing? All right. So I thought I should bring this trendy dress your way. As you can see, the dress is looking also beautiful. This is trending right now. It's a draped dress, a draped kimono dress. It's very beautiful with a front slit. As you can see the drape all over it. It's actually, it does not have side seams, right? It doesn't have side seams. It has a slit in front. It has an opening at the back. As you can see, it's looking so very beautiful. Okay, it has a band on the waist. It's all just so beautiful. This is trending right now, and I thought I should let you guys see. Okay, so please watch to the end so that you can learn how to put this dress together. All right. So making how to make the dress I just showed you now is a drape dress. It does not have a seam, on the side. The seam is in front. It has a slit in front. It has an opening at the back and all. So this is the fabric we are going to be using for it. It's a velvet fabric and it is 4 yards. Yes, 4 yards. You can also use a duchess for it. Okay, so any fabric that is slicky and soft, will work well for it. But this velvet just did all the magic for me, and I'm just gonna stay with it because I have other colors I will be reproducing. Okay, so this is the measurement you need for the dress. All right, I'm measuring myself. You need the full length of your dress. The full length meaning where you want the dress to be. For this one, I wanted to get to my ankle, right? You can decide to let it get to your knee, a 3/4, and your desired length basically. So after getting your full length, you need your waist circumference. Like I showed you, on the footage, it has a band, a fitted band, on the waist. You need your half length, right? This is your half length from your shoulder to your waist, and then the circumference of your waist. Okay, I've mentioned that earlier. All right. You also need from your waist to your hip. Okay, so you measure from your waist to your hip, 2 inches after your hip point. Where your hip point is 2 inches after it. Those are the measurements that you require for this dress. Hope you have your notebook and your pencil and you are writing. Okay, so you get that 4 yard of fabric, or your 4 yard of fabric, and you fold it into two. The drafting process I've started. All right, so you fold it into two as you can see me illustrate to you right about now. Okay, this tutorial video is extremely explicit. So after folding into two, you fold it again to create a triangle, like you can see me illustrate. You know how we used to fold when we want to cut a circle flay, a triangular circle flay, like a 180-degree flay, right? Just like this, and then you lay it on your table on the floor. I'm going to be cutting on the floor because it's quite big and bigger than my table, so I'm going to be doing all the cutting and all the drafting on the floor. So after folding into a triangle like this, as you can see me done already, you are going to fold again. All right, you're going to fold again. Just watch what I'm doing. You pick it this way and you fold. Just make a little fold, another triangular fold. All right, just fold it this way to that corner where I position mine. Okay, so when folding, your guideline is you make sure that that's this area that I'm going to be showing you now, okay, is having the exact inches you got from your waist to your hip. This place I'm showing you now, okay. So from my waist to my hip is about 10 inches. I came down by 2 inches, making 12 inches. So you make sure that angle is up to 12 inches. That is where the drape, the side, will fall, okay. So this side I am showing you now is where your waistline is going to be, okay. And the other folded side I pointed earlier is the sides, right? So this part now is your waist, where my hand is right now, okay. So what are you going to do? You're going to divide your waist into four. So for instance, your waist is 30 inches, you divide it into 4, you will have 7.5, and then you times that 7.5 by 3. Okay, you times the 7.5 by 3, and whatever you got after timesing, you place it on this part where I am showing you now, the exact measurement, whatever you got after timesing by 3, because we need the fullness of it to create the drapes on the dress. Okay, we need the fullness of it. So your waist times divided by 4 times 3. So when you are done placing it, you are now going to take your full measurement from the point where I place the tape rule. I am going to put out my half length. So my half length is 17 inches. So I'm going to put out my half length on that exact part where you place your waist measurement. Okay, put out your half length and then take your full measurement. So for instance, if your full measurement is 60 inches, you just take it, and you see how I am positioning my tape. I'm also kind of getting a triangular measurement, so to say. See how I'm slanting it. Okay, so you position your tape that way. I have to pull it upwards so that you can see what is going on around the bottom part. Okay, so you take your measurements around there. Okay, so that is where my length got to. So from this point now, I am going to impute my waist circumference. So if my waist circumference is 7.5, I'm just going to impute 7.5 there. Okay, this part now is the hem of the dress. If your waist circumference is 9 inches, that is after dividing by 4, just put it there to create that pencil effect around the dress on the down part. Hope you understand. If you do not understand, please backward this video and watch. I'm making it very, very simple and explicit. As you can see, I am not rushing, right? So you place your tape, your ruler on where your waist is, and then you make a connect to where your length got to, where you have marked out as your dress length. Hope you understand. As you can see, I have ruled from my waist down to the hem of the dress. Okay, this now we stand, this part right now we just roll is going to sit on the front, the center front. This part now is representing the center front and the center back. Don't forget, maybe I've not mentioned, we are cutting the front and the back together at the same time. And you can see I have how I have connected the M right on, that's our waist, the inches, our waist divided by 4 that we placed on the down part. Okay, so this part right now is the center front and the center back, and that part right now at the bottom is the hem of the dress. Hope this was explicit enough. Okay, and this part right now I am showing you is the side where the drape is going to be. Okay, and this part right now is your waist. Okay, so you have that upper part as your side where the drape is going to be. You have this part as your center front and center back, this part as your hem, the length of the dress, and this part the side. Okay, copy that. Hope you are jotting down and you are writing. Okay, so once we are done drafting, the next thing for us to do is to cut. Please watch carefully on how I am cutting this. It is very explicit, it is simple, also a little technical, but I believe I am doing justice to it by how I am teaching you and taking it one step at a time. You can also do well to ask your question. Just drop your question, on the comment section. Okay, make sure you ask a question if there is any part that has confused you. I am always here to answer your question. I will not leave you stranded. Okay, so I just continue cutting, and do well to give this video a like, a thumbs up, and follow our page. Okay, and if you're watching this from YouTube, please endeavor to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Guys, it's not easy making tutorial videos such as this. Okay, so I'm coming up right here this moment, and I'm going to be cutting that little triangle we have on the upper part out. Okay, I'm going to be cutting it out. Don't forget, I said earlier that this part right now is the side where the drape is going to be. Okay, we are going to stitch this part after we are done cutting that little triangle on it out. Okay, so guys, this is it. We are done drafting, we are done cutting, we are going to start the stitching process. So I'm just going ahead right now to separate the back panel from the front panel. Okay, so please note that the back panel is going to have zip. Okay, it's going to have zip. We've calculated everything. Okay, you have allowance for your zip, don't worry about that. But peradventure, if you want more allowance, you can just go ahead to add 1 inch or 1.5 to your measurement. Okay, so right about now you pick it up this way and you're going to stitch this parts. Okay, this parts, just stitch it neatly. Okay, just stitch it neatly. That is where the drapes are going to fall on, is on the side. Okay, let me show you again. This is how the outfit is when we were done draft cutting. Okay, I folded it back into 2 again. Okay, I folded it back into 2 for better understanding, right? So you just watch me fold it back into 2 like it was, or as it was when we were done cutting. I fold it back like this. This is how it was when we were done cutting, right? So when I'm done folding, for better understanding, you are going to stitch on this part. Yes, stitch on it to close that part up. You do the same to this other piece. Don't forget, it is front panel and back panel. We cut both together. So once you're done with that, you are going to come right now to take measurements for the upper bodies, right? So I measure from my shoulder to my half length, and then I take the circumference of my waist. Okay, these are measurements for the upper bodies, and then I turn to my back and I'm going to measure from the center of my back. Watch the way I am placing my tape roll, and then I'm going to measure to the point or the part where I want the sleeve of this dress to get to. So you place the tape roll, you know, on your center of your back, take it through your shoulder, and you know, measure to the point where you want the sleeve to get. So I want it to get to the elbow length. Okay, so you can make it shorter or make it longer. The preference is totally yours. So I haven't gotten that. We are going to come right about now to draft the upper bodies. So the upper bodies is a kimono kind of top. I want to believe that you know how to draft a kimono. It's very simple, but I'm going to take you through the process again for better understanding. Okay, so I fold my fabric into 2, as you can see, using the measurement that I got when I measured from my center back to the sleeve. I added 2 inches to it. That is what I have used to fold this part now. So this is the front panel. We're going to be drafting the front panel separately and the back panel separately. But what I'm doing right now is to measure my starting line, which of course is also known as the origin line. This line is where all our measurements, okay, is going to start from. If you are very familiar with our channels and with our page, that is the first thing we do. So after doing that, I am confirming my measurement. That is the measurement from my center back to where I want the sleeve to get to, and it was a given what I want. So I am going to come down by 2 inches for my shoulder slope. Okay, once I am done coming down, I'll come to the neck area to take my neck width of 3.5 inches, right? The neck width 3.5 inches, and the neck depth, it is a v-neck. I'm going to be using 7.5. Okay, by the time we are done stitching, it's going to fall down to 8 inches. You can choose to make yours deeper or make it less deeper. You can use less than 7.5 and you can use more than 7.5. It depends on how revealing you want your cleavage to be. The one I'm going to be making after this, the client said she wants it to be more revealing. I should use 10 inches for the neck depth. Okay, so you see, preference differs. So once we are done with the neck depth, I'm going to be connecting from the shoulder slope of 2 inches into the neck width measurements, as you can see me do, right? So once we are done with that, we are going to be taking our sleeve opening, which is okay around your biceps area or wherever you want the sleeve to get to. Okay, I'm going to be taking a measurement of 10 inches, 9 inches for the sleeve because I want it to be a bit free. Okay, and then 1 inches for stitching allowance, and then I just mark out that line. Okay, so after marking out that line, I'm going to be coming in by 3 inches on that sleeve opening line. So that 3 inches, I'm going to take it straight down to the hem of the upper bodice. Straight down, straight down, okay? And basically, guys, we are almost done with the drafting of this, okay? So I am taking my length, the length of the upper bodies, which is 17 inches. I'm going to be reducing a 2 inches out of the length, so it's going to make it a 15 inches. The 2 inches is, you know, on the footage I showed you a band on the dress. There's going to be a band on the dress. You saw it on the footage, right? So the band is 2 inches. I'm going to reduce that 2 inches from the upper bodies. So my half length is 17 inches. I reduced 2 inches, so it fell down to 15 inches. So I'm going to use my armhole cuff to connect, you know, the sleeve opening into, you know, the dress, the measurements, to give us that kimono effect. And this is it. Basically, we are done with the drafting of the kimono part, which is the upper body. We're just going to go ahead right now to cut it out and then draft the back panel. As you can see, that is the curve to give us that kimono effect, right? Excuse me. So I'm cutting, this is the neck part, I'm cutting it out, and then I'm also going to be cutting the shoulder slope area, as you can see, this way. Okay, if you've watched this video to this point, please do well to follow, do well to subscribe, do well to like. Okay, that's all I require from you. So I'm notching the center fronts. Okay, it gets wide. Okay, it gets wide. Endeavor to give your notches where necessary. So I'm just pinning it, and don't forget I'm working with a velvet fabric, and you know how this kind of fabric can be, they can be very sleepy and all, so you have to pin to keep these things in place for you. So right about now we're going to be drafting the back panel. Okay, so I fold my fabric into two as always, right? I'm going to be marking my origin line as always, which of course is the starting line, and then on this side I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. I told you that there's going to be a zip at the back, right? You even saw it on the video, on the footage, right? So I'm taking out 1.5 for the 1.5 inches for the zipper. All right, okay, so we just continue like that. Please do well to like, do well to share, do well to follow, do well to subscribe, do well to give a thumbs up, do well to drop a comment. Okay, so I bring the front panel and I place it on the zipper line. Okay, basically this is almost all. We're going to do a bit of alteration to the neck line of the back panel. The neckline for the back panel is going to be a little deeper than that of the front. Okay, so the front was 7.5, the back is going to be 9 inches. Okay, so I just marked 9 inches, and then that's it. I connect my V. The back panel also had a V. Okay, it's going to be having a V shape. So I bring my curve ruler and then I connect to give it a bit of curve. It's a V, but I mean it can add a bit, a very little curve, so it's not just there. Okay, so once I was done with this is all basically, guys. I'm just going to bring back my front panel and then we are going to cut this out. Yes, we are going to cut out. Okay, all right, so have you subscribed? I've not seen you subscribing. I haven't seen you subscribing. I haven't seen you hit on the bell. I haven't seen you hit on the follow button if you're watching this from Facebook. Okay, I haven't seen you hit on the like button. Please do all of this. This is all I require from you. Do well to like, do well to follow, do well to subscribe, do well to give a thumbs up, right? Okay, this is the most trendy outfit right now in town, and I've brought it to your doorstep. You can learn this from the comfort of your home, right? You don't need to pay anyone to teach you. I'm teaching for free, right? I bought fabric with my money. I put out a tutorial video. I'm doing a ad, running an ad for it for you to see it. The least you can do, guys, is to like, share, and give a thumbs up. All right, thank you for supporting. God bless you. So this is it, guys. This is it. Basically, this is the front and the back panel. This is the front and the back panel. We are done drafting the upper bodies. So right about now, we are going to go ahead to cut out a facing for the front panel and the back panel. I'm sure you know what a facing means. If you don't know, please watch. This is what we are going to be, a facing is what we are going to be cutting now. So I place a fabric and then I fold it into two, right? And then I place my back panel on it, right? And then I pin it down. Hope you're seeing how I placed it. Okay, peradventure you've not done this before. Okay, so I come in by 6 inches. This is how big I want this facing to be. I want it to cover the zipper area. Don't forget, we are not using lining for this project, so we have to try as much as we can to make it look as neat as possible. Do not also forget the inner part of your outfit should make a lot of sense. Okay, it also has a way of telling your personality, telling people a little or so much about your personality, who you are. Are you a tacky person or you are a detailed person, right? Okay, so I just go ahead, I make sure that the facing also extend to the sleeve area. That is how big I want the facing to be, right? And then I am going to connect this way. Okay, I'm going to connect this way from a part of the sleeve into that 6 inches were made at the back of the back panel, right? So once we are done connecting that way, I'm just going to go ahead to cut it out. So this is how big I want the facing to be. I want it to cover the zipper area, to cover a part of the sleeve, so that when we turn the shoulders, everything is looking very neat on the inside, right? It's very imperative. Okay, so I'm going to be using my interfaces for the for those that we just cut out right now. Interfaces can be your paper stay or your S stay. Okay, so we are cutting for the front now. Okay, so I just fold another fabric into two and place the front panel on it, and then I'll just go ahead to cut out the neck and then the parts of the facing, how big I want the facing to be. Basically, I'll just cut it out. Okay, so I take off the main piece and then I determine how big I want the facing to be, and then I cut it out, right? I'm also going to be infusing my interfaces, which of course is my paper stay and my fabric stay. Fabric stay being air stay, right? So this is the facing for the front panel. So right about now, I'm going to show you how to turn your main piece with your facing. Okay, so when you are done infusing your interfaces, okay, you lay flat your main piece and then place your turning on it like this. Position it properly. Okay, don't forget, I have not infused my paper stay and my air stay. I'm just showing you how to do that. Okay, I'm going to infuse mine, right? So you lay it properly and arrange properly, and then you take it to your sewing machine and sew your neck using either a 0.25 or an ½ inch, and then you're going to fold the side properly for neat finishing. Okay, you see I'm folding the side, double folding the side, okay, for neat finishing. If you don't want to double fold and you have your overlocker, you can overlock it. Okay, so that is for that with the upper bodies. For now, we are still going to go back to it. So I'm bringing back the bottom panel, the lower bodies, the skirt area that is going to have the drape. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is one of its panel. All right, don't forget it's a front, and it has a front panel and a back panel. It does not have a side seam. All right, it doesn't have a side seam. Okay, so this is how it was, and I asked you to sew this part. Now I have sewn mine, and this is it. Okay, so once I am done sewing, I'm going to open it up this way. We are going to start draping. Okay, so it's a free, I'm going to show you how to free-handedly drape this. No pattern paper, no pattern paper. You are going to free-handedly drape this. I'm going to show you 3 methods on how to free-handedly drape this. Okay, so once you lay your fabric flat this way, okay, that place where you stitch, is going to stand as a landmark for you, so to say. This place where you stitch, okay, is going to stand as a landmark. It's going to stand, is very important. So on that part, I came in by 3 inches, right? I came in by 3 inches. This is one method. Okay, and then I'm going to pull down to the side, this part right now. Okay, don't forget this part I'm showing you is going to either sit in front or in back, at the back, depending on which we are doing. And then I'm going to take 4.5. remember we took 3 inches. This part now we are doing 4.5 because it has a 1.5 inches zipper allowance attached to it. Okay, and then I will notch it, right? So once you are done doing that, I'm going to measure the totality. I'm going to do the same to this other part. Do not forget that place you sewed has divided the fabric into 2 for you for now. Okay, so we measure to this part and we measure to that part. So the same thing we did on this part, we are going to do the same on the other part. Okay, so I do my 3 inches, and then I go to the side where you have the opening, the side seam. I'm going to be doing my 4.5, right? 3 inches, right? And on the side, I'm going to be doing my 4.5. So once I was done doing that, okay, I'm going to measure the totality of what I have from that 3 inches, and then I'll divide it by 3 or by 4. Okay, so once I'm done dividing, whatever you have, you're just going to be marking it. So if it is 4 you have, you just mark 4 inches. If it is 3 you have, you mark 3. If it is 5, you mark 5, 5, 5, or 3, 3, 3, or 4, 4, 4. So once you are done marking, you now pick those points where you mark, as you pick a pleat. Okay, you just pick a pleat on those points like this, as you can see me do. All right, you just pick a pleat on those points to form your drape. That is one method. Another method is we come back to that line and then I measure 2 inches. Okay, after measuring 2 inches, I'll measure 1 inch. All right, and then I'll measure 2 inches again, and then I'll measure 1 inch. So I just continue like this till I exhaust this part of the fabric, and then I'll do the same to the other side. Okay, I do the same to the other side. 2 inches, 1 inch, 2 inches, 1 inch, 2 inches, 1 inch. So once you are done creating those marks with your chalk, you are now going to start picking a pleat again. So I've just shown you two method in which you can achieve this. So I'm still marking 1 inch. Okay, I'm marking 1 inch, and then I will mark 2 inches. Just like that. You can choose to use different chalks, different colors of chalk, so that you know which one is 2 inch and which one is 1 inch. But I know, so I don't have to use two colors of chalk. But if you're going to be confused, please use two colors of chalk, so you know which one is 1 inch and which one is 2 inches. Okay, wait for the third pattern, because it's the third pattern that I used. Okay, the third pattern. So I do the same to this other side too. Okay, don't forget, whatever you do here, you do there. So I will come to the 2 inch and I will pick it to meet with the 1 inch. That's how to pick a pleat on this pattern. Okay, on this method. I will come to the 2 inch and then I will pick a pleat to meet with the 1 inch, like this. As you are doing this, it is forming those drapes for you. As you are doing this, it is forming those drapes for you. So the third method now, which is what I eventually used, I came to that same part again and I measured 2 inches. I came to the other part and I measured 2 inches. Okay, this is the one that I used. Okay, I didn't have to do so much marking. I will come to the end parts like this, and then I'll measure 2 inches. I'll just looking at the camera to be sure that you are seeing what I'm doing. Okay, and then I'll measure 2 inches here. Right, I come over to this end part and then I measure 2 inches. Guys, this thing is not difficult at all. Just follow the steps that I'm giving to you. If you encounter any difficulty, send me a message. Drop your question on the comment section, okay? Because I know not everybody, has the capacity to learn things like this without having somebody to also explain to them. So I am here. Ask your question, all right? So once we are done with those 2 inches marking, I'm going to come back to that seam and then I will start picking my pleats. I'll make sure the pleats I'm picking is up to 2 inches. You see, the volume is up to 2 inches. So I pick and I make sure that the pleat is facing the direction of that seam, that line that we sew. Okay, and then I'll pin down. Don't forget, we're also working with velvet fabric, so you have to have your pin handy. So I pick another pleat like this. Don't forget, the volume of your pleat should be up to like 2 inches for now. Okay, and then I pin. I continue picking my pleats like this, and then I will measure to see if I have a quarter of my waistline. A quarter of my waistline, that is from that seam to the end of this fabric. You measure it to see if you have a quarter of your waistline. So if it's less than your waistline, a quarter of your waistline, you can adjust it. You can adjust it. You can loosen it up and repick your pleats. I'm measuring again to see. It's not up to a quarter of my waistline, so I am going to adjust it. Okay, you can keep adjusting until you get your actual measurements. Okay, so let's assume that this is the front panel, right? The front panel does not need a zipper. Okay, so we are looking for a quarter of our waistline to one side and a quarter of our waistline to the other side. In a nutshell, this particular panel should give you half of your waist circumference. By the time you are done draping one side and the other side, okay, by the time you are done draping and you measure the totality of it, you should have half of your waist measurement. So I am checking again to confirm. For now, a quarter of my waist measurement. I don't have up to a quarter of my waist measurement. I am going to adjust again. Okay, it means that I should reduce the pleats that I am picking. If you look down to the fabric, you can see that the drapes are forming already, guys. All right, so you see that the drapes are forming already. So I want to confirm this. You are doing this and having your tape rule with you for confirmation at all time. So if you have more than your waist you have of a quarter of your waist circumference, you adjust it again to make sure that it falls to your to half to a quarter of your waist circumference. Okay. Oh Lord Jesus, help me. It's a lot. Please like this video, share, give a thumbs up, follow this page. Okay, so I have up to a quarter of my waist circumference. Thanks be to God. Okay, so this is -1 down. All right, so I'm just going ahead to pin. Please, as you are pinning, you are also confirming that it has not shifted, thereby reducing or adding. As you can see, I am reconfirming. As I'm pinning, I am reconfirming. It is very, 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 very imperative. And also do not forget, as you are looking for a quarter, so I'm doing the same to this other side. Okay, and I'm making sure that the pleat faces this, where this pleat is facing. So the pleats are facing each other. Don't make a mistake of making your pleats to face the other side, right? Make sure the pleats are facing each other, as you can see, and then confirm your waist measurements again, a quarter of your waist measurement to this part. I'm sure you can see the drapes, it has formed, and I'm sure you can see how beautiful it is looking. All right, so I measured and I discovered that I don't have up to a quarter of my waist measurement on this part. I adjusted and I am confirming again, and it is accurate. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the totality of the measurement you should have on this waist should be half of your waist measurement right about now. You see the drapes is looking so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. All right, so I'll take it to my sewing machine and I will stitch it down to keep those pleats and those drape in place for me. Okay, so now this is the back panel. So don't forget, right, you know this thing does not have a side seam, so it's not back panel and front panel. It is center back through your side, your hip area, into the center front, one panel, then center back, okay, pass through your hip into your center front, another panel. So there is nothing like back and front, it is side and side. Okay, so you have seams at the back, you have seams in front. Okay, please take note, right? So this is the other side of the drape. Okay, this is the other side of the drape. I am doing the same thing we did on the first side, right? Don't forget, once you get the total measurements of your waist you're looking for, make sure you determine the part you are using for the part that is going to sit for the back for your zipper. Add your 1.5 inches to it. The part that is going to be on the center front, add 1 inch to it for your seam allowance. Hope you understand that. Please ask your question if you do not understand. So I am confirming my waist measurement. Right about now, I should have half of my waist measurement. It is so accurate right now. So I'm going ahead to pin down. Do not forget, when pinning, you are also confirming your measurement, because the fabric is slippery and soft and it has the tendency to move. So when it's moved, it is either it increases in inches or it reduces in inches. The more reason why you should be confirming your measurements as you are pinning. This is very, very, very important. Okay, all right. So I'm still adjusting and confirming whilst also pinning it down. So I'm done pinning. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down. Man, this drape is fine. Free and draping. No pattern. No pattern. Okay, we didn't draft any pattern. Okay, so once that was done, we are coming back to the upper bodies, right? No, I'm showing you once I was done stitching. As you can see, once we are done with this, we are going to go back to the upper bodies. So right about now, I bring the two pieces together and then we are going to join them, right? So I open it this way and then I position it, the front part meeting with the front part, as you can see, right? So let's assume now, okay, not assuming, this is the side that is going to be on your center front, okay? So I'm going to stitch it down from the beginning to the point where you want your slit to start from. My own slit started from 21 inches, measuring from the waist to my knee, 21 inches. You can determine yours, okay? So I will stitch. So this is the back. This is the part that is going to sit on the back, okay? So I measure. Don't forget, this part is going to have zippers. This part is 1 inch. That is the front. The other part is 1.5 inches for zipper. So this is the upper panel. I have upper bodies rather. I have stitched my turning. As you can see, I infused my interfacing, I folded the edge and I sewed it, and say I have flipped it inward, as you can see. And this is what the outer looks like. Right, you see it's looking neat and well put together. Right, that's for the front panel for the upper bodies. This is for the back panel for the upper bodies too. I'm going to show you how I placed my turning. So this is the turning for the back panel of the upper bodies, as you can see, right? I have infused my fusibles, right? I position it this way, just like we cut it out, okay? And then I'm going to stitch the areas that I'm going to be pointing at, or I'm going to be showing you, okay? As you can see, it's got to the length of the bodies. So I stitch the neckline, I take it into the zipper area, I stitch it, and that is it. I stitch the neckline, I take it into the zipper and stitch, so that zipper area will look very neat, okay? So don't forget, the back panel for the upper bodies is 2 because of the zipper, okay? So what I do to one, I will do to the other, right? So I'm going to be doing the same stitching to this part. So, but before stitching, this is a rope that I made from the same fabric. The back neckline, that V as a rope, is a rope that we use to tie it. So I made a rope like a bias, and then I place it this way, half inch down, a half inch away from the neckline. I came down by half inch, okay? You know, we are going to turn, we are going to sew the turning or the facing. So that's half inch is what we're going to use to sew. So I came down by half inch before placing my rope, and then I will stitch. I did same to the other parts, okay? I came down by half inch, I placed the rope, and then I pinned it down. I arrange my facing, and then I take it to a sewing machine, and then I sew. As you can see, I sew this part I'm showing you. You notch it and turn and give it a good pressing. So right about now, I want to show you what the skirt part, the draped skirt part look like. This is it, guys. It's a given. It's a given. I so love this. So I was saying in this video, this is what it looks like. You see, it's very beautiful. So this is the skirt part. If you don't want to make a dress out of this, you can just use this as it is like this to make a skirt. All you need to do is to attach a band, like the type of band we usually attach to our skirts, to it. Fix a zip at the back, right? And this draped skirt is ready. Peradventure, you want to make a skirt and not a dress, okay? So I thought I should show you this, and this is so beautiful, guys. You can use this for a photo shoot in case you're looking for a style. This is so beautiful. It is giving what it should give. Man, look at the gorgeousness. Look at the elegance. I love it. I so love it. I love it. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you think it's something you can rock? Because I really do love this. It's beautiful. It's classy. It's classy. It's beautiful. Look at it now. See elegance. So I just thought I should show you guys how far we have come with the tutorial. Okay, it's a little lengthy, but it's because I want you to catch everything. Some people have reached out to say they've been unable to, you know, understand. They've seen other videos, so I decided to really make this one explicit. Okay, so this is the back panel. I've stitched, right? I've held my zipper area. Okay, I've held the zipper area. Sorry, this is the front panel. I'm notching the center front again. I'm notching the center front because it's very important. So right about now, we are going to be taking some pleats on this front panel, okay? So notching your center front is very important. So it's by notching, it has divided the piece into two, to the left and to the right. So I come to the left or to the right, however this is facing you, and then I measure 2 inches like this, and then I'm going to be picking a pleat. So you're picking a pleat and you're picking it to the tune of your excuse me, to the tune of your waist measurement. Don't forget, we are working with quarter of our waist measurement to one part, quarter of our waist measurement on the other part. Hope you understand. So one part of the notch, quarter of your waist measurement. So the other part of the notch, quarter of your waist measurement, just like we did for the lower bodice, the drape, right? So I pick a pleat like this, as you can see me do, having my waist measurements in mind when picking the pleat. Please note that you can always adjust. Once you are done picking the pleats and you measure to see if you have up to your waist measurement and it's not up to your waist measurement, you can always reduce your pleats, okay? It's very important. Very important. Don't forget, this is a kimono outfit, so it should be a little free. As you can see, it's not fitted, but at the same time it's fitted. It's beautiful. It's sitting well on the body, right? So once I was done picking the pleats, I think I picked about 4 pleats. Yes, 4 pleats. Okay, because on the skirt bodies, it was 4 pleats we also pick. So I will confirm to see if I have up to my waist measurement. At this point, we don't have up to the waist measurement, so I am adjusting so that we can get our waist measurements. So we've gotten our waist measurements. I am going ahead to pin down, which is the practice. So hold it down for me, right? I'm pinning it down. I'm confirming as I'm pinning, so I don't have shortage and I don't have excess. Once you get your waist measurement, don't forget to also include 1 inch to whatever you are doing for seam allowance. It's very important. So I'm going to come to this other part and take the pleats. So for the upper bodies, the pleats are not facing each other. One pleat will be facing the side and the other pleat will be facing the other side, so that it will correspond well when you join this to the lower bodies. You get why? Don't take what I just said now for granted. For the upper bodies, the pleats are not facing each other like it did on the lower body. The pleats are backing each other. So you're pleating one to this, one to the left, and your pleats, one should face the left and the other should face the right. Hope you understand. Okay. So I'm confirming my measurements. If you have watched this video to this point and you've not subscribed, I'm really going to be angry with you. I go vex. So, because if you know what is taking me to put this video together, it's not my money. And I know you're learning a lot from it. The least you could do is to like, follow, subscribe. Do something. I'm not asking you to bring any money. Just do that, and it wouldn't cost you anything whatsoever to like, to follow, to share, and to give a thumbs up. It won't cost you anything. Okay? Thank you as you do so. God bless you. So I just continue confirming my measurements once I was done plating, and then I'm going ahead to pin this down once I have confirmed my measurements and it's giving me what I want. Okay? So for the back panel, we have pleated the front panel for the upper bodies. For the back panel, we are not going to pleat it. We are going to run a gathers. Okay? We're going to run a gather stitch and then pull some gathers. That is the way the back panel is. So once I was done confirming, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down. So guys, this is the back panel, right? No pleats for this back panel. I'm going to run a loose stitch to enable us pull a gather, and you're pulling the gather to the tune of your waist measurements plus your 1 inch seam allowance. Do you understand? So that's the facing. You can see how beautiful and how neat the inside is looking. So right about now, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. I will first of all loosen the zipper allowance. You know, we are working on this using quarter of our waist measurement. So everything has been divided into 4. Okay, the front bodies have been divided into 4. The back body is to 1 zip because the zipper has divided it, so it makes it 2 pieces. The front bodies is 2 because the notch on the center front has divided it to make it 2. So we are working half quarter of our waist measurement to one part, quarter of our waist measurement to the other part, quarter of our waist measurement to one part, quarter of our waist measurement to the other part, to make it our total waist measurement. So I'll run a loose stitch on the waist and then pull a gathers. So this right now is the band. If you remember, I told you that the waist is going to have a 2 inches band, right? So this is the band for it. I've cut it out and I have infused my fusible on it to give it a bit of stability and stamina. Okay, so the band is measuring my waist, the totality of my waist circumference plus some inches for my zipper allowance. Okay, and the width is 3 inches and I cut it in 2 places. So this is the back bodies. As you can see, it is really looking fine, right? Okay, and this is the front bodies. I'm going to be placing them this way, the front panel facing the back panel, as you can see me do. We want to attach the band to it, and I want to attach the band in a way that you are not seeing any seam. when you join the joining of the upper bodice to the band and the joining of the lower body to the band, we are not going to be seeing any seam on any seams, right? We're not going to be seeing any rough edge because we're going to sandwich everything into the band. Before we do that, we are going to be turning our shoulder. As you can see, I'm using the facing to turn the shoulder, which of course is going to give it a very neat finishing. You're not going to see any seam along the shoulder. That is why I made sure that the facing was lengthy enough, as lengthy as the sleeve. Okay. So I've done for one shoulder. I am pinning for the other shoulder, and then I'm going to sew it down. Once we are done with joining the shoulder, we are going to bring the band and we are going to work on the sleeve. We are going to be folding the sleeve using the measurements you left. If it is 2 inches, use it to fold the hem of the sleeve. If it is 1 inch, use it to fold the hem of the sleeve, and then stitch the side. Okay, stitch the side down. Once you're done stitching the side, make sure you notch that part that is a bit curvy along the underarm area. All right, you do the same to the other side. So guys, we are almost coming to the end of this tutorial. Hope you've subscribed. Hope this tutorial was worth your time. Please let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comment section. Okay, so this is the upper body. We've joined the shoulders, we've closed the side, we've folded our sleeve hem, and this is what it looks like. I'm sure you can tell that it is really looking like a kimono. So beautiful. It's actually looking like a crop top, but it's so beautiful, right? So we are going to be attaching our band once we are done with this process. So I first of all loosen out my zip allowance. You see how slowly I took this video? It is so that you can understand. Please let me know if you understood, if I did justice to this, if I taught well. Please let me know on the comment section. Okay, you can also do what to drop a video, a style you will want us to work on next. So I fold this into 2 and then I confirm my center front with a notch. Okay, so I place it open like this. I'm also going to be using a chalk to draw a bit of line on that center front so that everything is visible for me. It's very important. So I come to the band and then I'm going to place it the way I'm going to show you right about now. Please watch properly. I don't want to see any seam around the waist area. Okay, I want everything to look beautiful and neat on the inside. This is a ready to wear, guys, so you have to learn how to do it neatly. So I first of all notch the center part of the band. Okay, so once I was done notching, I'm going to be placing the band center front meeting center front using the notches. Watch how I am placing it. I first of all place it this way. The front part of the band fabric facing the front part of the upper bodies for this first band. Do not forget the band is 2, and then I am going to pin it down. So I pin it properly. And then I'm going to bring the other band. Okay, watch how I am placing it. Please watch how I'm placing it. Watch is very important. So the front part of the this band now facing the inner part of the upper bodies is very, very important. Okay, the notch meeting the notch, properly aligned, and then I'm going to pin before stitching. I continue pinning. You see that it got to the end. No excess, no shortage of band or fabric. Everything is on point, guys. I hope you are able to replicate this and let us see what you came up with. And then you take it to your sewing machine and stitch. Once you are done stitching, this is what you should have. You bring down the band this way. So you have successfully sandwiched the upper body to the upper part of the band. So it's remaining the down part of the band to the down part of this dress. Okay, so the next thing you will do is to fold the band like this using a 0.5. Okay, you fold it and you iron it so that it will remain folded, because we're also going to sandwich the bottom part into this band. Thereby you're not seeing any seams on the inside. This is an amazing way and professional way of finishing outfit like this when you are not using a lining. Okay, so you fold it a 0.5 and iron to keep the fold in place for you. So once you are done doing that, you are going to bring the lower panel, the panel for the lower body or the bottom body. Okay, so you bring it and then you will sandwich the waists of the panel for the bottom body or the lower body into that. Just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to tuck in the skirts. I'm going to tuck it in. Make sure notches meet with notches for proper placement. All right, the center front is meeting the center front of the upper bodies. Is very important. So I'm going to be sandwiching this into the band, right? So I place it this way. As you can see, we are going to sandwich just like we did for the upper parts. And then I pin. So I'm going to push it in and pin all the way. Pin all the way, okay? You push it in and pin all the way. Please know that when you are pushing in, you are pushing just only 0.5, which of course is the waste, what do you call it, the allowance that you left for seam. So once I was done doing that, I take it to my sewing machine and I sew. So once we are done sewing, we have successfully almost finished making this dress. The next thing for us to do, I'm going to be showing you right now, is to close up the back. Don't forget we've closed up the front. Okay, so we are going to be closing up the back. This is the dress. This dress is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Please like, share, give a thumbs up, subscribe, guys. So this is the waistline for the front panel. Everything is on point. I'm so proud of myself. I don't know about you. Are you proud of me? So this is the back. This is the back side. We are going to be attaching our zippers. Okay, This is a zipper for it. You can also choose to use an invisible zipper. So we attach the zipper. That's the point where the zipper is going to get to, and then I'm going to be sewing down the rest parts to close it up. Once I'm done doing that, sewing down the remaining part to close it up, I turn it this way. As you can see, I'll come to the front. So you know there is a slit in front. We have to neatly finish that slit part. Okay, I'm going to be using my hemming glue. Yes, I'm going to be using my hemming glue to neatly finish this part. I'm going to use it to finish this part so that it looks very neat and professionally done. Do not forget it's already to wear. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm going to be folding the hem with 1.5 inch. And so guys, we have come to the end of this training. Thank you for staying tuned. This is the outcome. This is superly beautiful. Beautiful. What do you think? What do you think? I'm going to be making another one because another client have placed an order with a different color. I'm going to be making another one and I'm going to be showing it to you guys. Please like if you found value in this video, share and give a thumbs up. And I'm going to see you guys in our next tutorial video, guys. Bye bye for now. Bye. Make yours so and let us see. Share it with us. Tag me. Okay, tag me. Let me see what you did. Okay, like, follow, subscribe for more.